Welcome to the Friday Night Sports Show. I'm Jonathan Gold, and I'm here with
Mason Grosso.
And we have a special guest on the final episode of the Friday Night Sports Show for Season 2. Hopefully it does continue because we are graduating. I'm here with Mr. Claff, social studies teacher, WDOT teacher, radio teacher, SNN teacher, and also Port Vikings.
I've been waiting so many Friday nights, but the show disappeared, and now it's back. My favorite show.
It has been a while. There's been a lot of schedule conflicts, second semester seniorism.
Schedule conflicts.
But, I mean, at least we're back now for at least one final episode.
Yeah.
It's been a long 4 years of high school, been a long 4 years of Port Vikings. I still remember calling my first ever game freshman year, going in county final for boys volleyball up at LIU Post. Don't remember who they played, but I remember did not go the Vikings' way. I was calling it with Julian Kimball. You got any early memories of Port Vikings, Mason?
Yeah, earliest memory. Called a girls' varsity basketball game. Knew none of the players' names because we didn't have, I didn't know to make a sheet back in freshman year. So I was calling them out by number on Instagram Live. Maybe 5 viewers, and I was just having a great time.
I do remember calling some JV basketball games also with you freshman year. We also had Mac in there. We had a little bit of Ryan Baxter action when he did broadcast basketball. Clive, what was your earliest memories of Port Vikings? I know you do go back a long way.
For you guys, we look at that video, and some of it, if you go onto the handle of Port Vikings and you go onto some of the old stuff for WDOT, there's an image of you with it's probably during COVID, you're wearing a mask and you're standing next to Julian, you're standing in the bleachers. So how things have changed. Now you're courtside, it's a professional setup, the people are actually listening to the games. So in terms of my memories of, you mean Port Vikings in its inception, way back when?
Yeah.
So way back when, we had a series of kids just like you who are now in their early 20s, mid-20s, and they just loved sports. Some of them played sports, but they still loved the sports when they weren't in season, and they wanted to call games. And historically here at the radio station, this is our 20th anniversary of WDOT. Wow, 20 years. We started in 2000. We got the grant in 04. 05 was our first broadcast in April, so now we're 20 years in. And for 20 years, we've been calling games. But the difference is, of course, now it's just we're much more professional about it. We have a great track record and the setup. We have an athletic director, Mr. Schratweiser, who supports us in every way possible to get us courtside and get us whatever we need, like rosters and the things that you just didn't have. So if you look at your freshman year to now, it's really night and day in terms of the operation.
Yeah, I want to say one of my greatest memories of Port Vikings, at least in the past 2 years, especially since we had that broadcasting class, would have to be going to the games, or I'd say traveling up to Binghamton with the boys basketball team. I feel like nothing could compare to that. I mean, my screen time was definitely all the way up. I had to edit a lot of stuff, edit some videos, get some graphics up on my phone 24/7, helping people find rosters, and that's just like a memory that can't go away. I know Zach Nash, he's our guest DJ, if you want to say a little hi, but yeah, that's remember, we had 2 hotel rooms. Claff, you were across the hall. You could hear us. We brought our PlayStations up. I remember Matt got some Nashville hot chicken and really messed him up. But, yeah, any good memories?
No, but I have a question for Mr. Claff. Obviously, last year, the sports broadcasting class was in place, and this year, SNM. And we've made so much progress, whether that's the Instagram following or just, being on the TVs and and us being widespread throughout the school. Where do you see this program elevating even more in the next couple of years?
I think what makes us different, there are a lot of really good media programs across Long Island. What makes us very special and different is our consistency. Nobody covers. A lot of schools, maybe they have a good media club. They'll put out, here's our quarterly update on sports. Here's our quarterly. This is a nightly thing. This is a 24-hour-a-day network. When we started the sports class, the goal was to be ESPN for the Port Washington community. And that's what we've become. We get to the point where you guys go out in public, people recognize you from shows, from calls. Last year, when the 8th graders, who are now 9th graders, they came up here, I had a few of the Port Vikings kids down to just talk about media. And the kids gave them a standing ovation. They knew who they were, like local celebrities. I couldn't believe it. So what really makes us different is that we're just so consistent, and every sport gets its attention. Whether it's a high profile sport or sports that maybe the fans don't go to the games because they're far away, or they're at the pool, or they're at Bethpage State Park, we bring all of the sports to the viewer, and we've been successful as broadcasters. But it also helps that in the last 2 years we've had some very successful sports teams, and that's great for us.
I mean, yeah, one thing I would like to say, at least our graduating class has been amazing athletics wise. Like we got boys basketball going to the state championship game, boys lacrosse going to Nassau County, and also going to the Long Island Championship a couple years back. And I still remember watching at home when I was in middle school, not even like attending a port school, watching games on Instagram Live for basketball when they made their run to the Nassau County Championship led by Mark Daly.
Mm-hmm.
It was Mark Daly? Yeah. And I remember, I think it was like Spina and Jackman on the call. I think it was, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. It wasn't Blake.
It could have been Lucas Blakeman,
Blakeman,
I'm not sure who was doing it.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully Port Vikings can still go on. I'm definitely going to be looking back at college when I'm at college, following the videos. Hopefully Rundown stays alive. Hopefully someone does take over the Friday Night Sports Show. We could probably put that into place somewhere.
You set the bar so high. And, when we started this class and I would talk to Mr. Schratweiser about it, I'm like, I don't know how sustainable, how great, you guys were juniors, now you're seniors, and then I look at, things turn over. I coach a sport and I'm like, wow, this team's so great. How are we ever going to be this great again? And then, freshmen come in and our freshman broadcasters now are as strong as we've ever had it. So we're very excited about the Junior Vikings. Do we always call them Junior Vikings or at what point do they graduate?
It just kind of started.
They're seniors. When they're seniors, they're still Junior Vikings.
They're still going to be known as the Junior Vikings. I mean, we got like the Jangles Minions. Nothing's going to take away the Burger Chat.
No.
We got a lot of like different group chats going on. Like I don't think anything's gonna top this. Like this is an unforgettable bond that everyone's gonna live with for the rest of their life.
And one of the things that's so special about the broadcasting here at Schreiber is you're gonna help the young guys, the older guys. They help you. We look at Kenny Albert coming back here to Schreiber to talk to us. So there is something about that Schreiber kind of community. And as we send some of our kids, our broadcasters, into college, they're going to be studying, media. Bunch of you you're going to be in Arizona State, okay, Alabama. These are big schools. Hannah Gentry's going to Syracuse to do the Newhouse program. So these are big schools that need announcers, and hopefully we can, wind up on the college networks like some of our current broadcasters do. Mikey Capobianco, he's broadcasting now, and of course about our professionals, Jake Eisenberg with the Royals and Matt Levine, who's on SNY all the time. So it all starts here. And hopefully you all can be as successful. My dream is this. I'm watching the World Series and in the radio booth for the first team, let's say it's the Subway Series, Mets, I got one Port Viking, and then the Yankees, we got another Port Viking kid. And that would be something special. And it's possible. You never know.
Anything's possible. We do have an amazing set of broadcasters. I know one of our amazing broadcasters is in the DJ booth right now. Zach Nash got a couple questions for us, maybe Claff.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Mr. Gold. As someone who didn't get all the recognition for being Mr. Port Vikings, I just have to say for everyone at home, the amount of hours that this guy spent dedicating his time to Port Vikings, to graphics, to highlight packages, everything goes. It's just incredible of what you've done in the last 4 years. And I have a question for you: is what advice do you give to the younger kids who maybe haven't even got to Schreiber yet, who are going to come in and maybe they want to be the guy that you once were?
Well, I'd like to say, don't put your phone on Do Not Disturb, especially when you're doing broadcasting, because you're gonna miss a text message. I think the most hours I've ever logged on my phone was when all the teams are doing amazing. Like, Port Basketball made that historic run this year. I'd say my screen time had to have been upwards of 10-plus hours a week during that playoff run. And then it drastically decreased when I got that screen time notification, down 7% from last week once we got back from Binghamton. But staying consistent, too, and finding what you love. I realized, when I came into school here, I was I want to be a broadcaster when I grow up. I always watched Knick games with my dad, and I was a big fan of Walt Clyde Frazier and Kenny Albert, and I'm I just want to be like that when I'm older. And then I realized I'm not that good. When I did my first couple games, this isn't for me. There's people that are definitely better than them, but I'm still gonna do it as best as I can. And then I realized I can really film. So then I started controlling the Instagram stories, controlling the Instagram lives. After me and Chodash during our basketball, we resigned last year because of seniority. We gave it over to Nash and Mac. Yeah, I just say being consistent, phone not being on Do Not Disturb. Two big things, at least for me, is what I did. And responding to Claff as soon as possible.
The culture, it's really about culture here. And it took a couple of years, but now the teams, the coaches, the players, they all know who we are. They know what we do. They want coverage. I mean, how many times this year do people like, where's our coverage? And we're trying. We're giving, all we can give. We're student broadcasters, but people recognize it and they know. And just so people know, just about every game day post that you would see is JoJo doing the game day posts and the story, and he's at the game. So definitely it's going to take a few different people, 4 or 5, to replace JoJo next year.
And another thing, I'm not JoJo Gold, Mr. Port Vikings. And unlike JoJo, I had no clue that this was what I wanted to do. I walked into Mr. Claff's freshman radio class just picking it because I needed an elective. And here I am 4 years later, knowing this is what I want to do. And that's what I'll say about this program, whether it's radio, sports broadcasting, S&M. You'll learn a lot of things in high school that once you leave this building means nothing. But 4 years in, I could say that I've really gotten something from this class, and it's even more than just broadcasting. You really take something away by being Mr. Claff's student, and I want to thank you for that.
And it's great, and I love to hear it. And what's so great about broadcasting, you talk about life skills. The first time I asked you to go up to a coach, you were probably nervous.
So nervous.
Right? Think about that.
I was
just
scared.
Life skills. Go interview this person. Go talk to this person. Go talk to this adult. And there's a little bit, you're a little hesitant to do that. And then now it's just like nothing. Oh, okay, I'll go interview the coach and I'll go interview the other people. Zach, you wanted to chime in here?
Yeah, I also want to say that what it also did was it created a sense of a family, right? You guys, the class last year, I wasn't in it, but I'd say I was somewhat of a part of it as I got into the broadcasting side of it with football and basketball. And so you guys especially have created that sense of okay, everyone's welcome. For example, last year we all had a pool party at the end of the year where we all got together, got food, all swam, and it's this class brings so much more, like you guys said, so much more than broadcasting. It's culture, it's life skills, it's pretty much everything, including broadcasting. So although I'm not a senior and I'll be here next year, for everyone who's watching this, I really do recommend that you get into the program, dig your feet in, and maybe, like Mason said, maybe you don't know that this is what you want to do, and then you come in and see, oh yeah, I really, really enjoy this.
And kids, if they're watching 8th grade radio, it's a great place to start, and from there we'll get you involved. And even because you can't do the sports broadcasting course as a freshman, but we'll get you involved. But there are kids like these junior Vikings. They said, what can we do? And I said, here, cover this, and they did it. So we're always trying to be inclusive, try to get as many kids involved in this. And that's what makes it special. And that's how we can do the amount of content that we do, on a daily basis. Weren't there some days where we had just too many things to post, and how do we control that?
We just control it. I'd say making a schedule, finding out certain videos that we know are going to do really well, or some videos are obviously going to be better than other videos. Say we had boys lacrosse video and tennis video and a track video all at the same time. Say the boys lacrosse video, say I made it and it wasn't good, and then we had Wilbur make a tennis video or Henry make a tennis video, and it was the best video I've ever seen in Port Vikings history. We're gonna know. All right, so Saturdays our best post time is at 6:30. Mm-hmm. Knowing the analytics and when to post everything, knowing which videos are gonna get the most amount of views, likes, and especially astroturfing. Yeah. I know Zach hears me talk about astroturfing all the time, especially in the group chats. Whenever we post something, even if it's a picture, even if it's a video, no matter what, to astroturf because
well, for that means, which is clearly we would never encourage that to do that. But what we're saying is, people like the videos. We comment on the videos. We always encourage more people to comment, and because people are more likely to comment. Understand analytics. People are more likely to comment when there are comments there. Is that the way it works? And another thing I want to ask you, about just things that are above anything that I understand. You somehow got a few posts in your tenure to become viral posts. There were 2 in particular that were picked up, one by House of Highlights last year, the Schreiber Slam video, right? And then this year, Billy's buzzer beater. How does that happen?
Well, I mean, really just not even just – we run the Instagram, but we also do have other forms. We also have Twitter. X. Uh-huh. Both of those. Sure. But we don't really use the Twitter page as much as I think we should. And I'm okay, well, Billy hit that overtime, that game-winning shot in overtime, and you get everyone celebrating. Like me and Cal, I remember walked on in the court. And I'm like, we got a really good video. I'll post it on the Twitter. Like my phone glitched out and logged me out of the Twitter. I logged back in, post the video, and in the replies I put at Pat McAfee Show, at ESPN Sports Center, top 10 plays, at everything, like every single company that you could imagine, I put it there. And then Schreiber Slam, we put out a video last year, and I tagged House of Highlights, and they were like, "Hey, we want to pick up your video. Fill out this form, and we can post it." Perfect. And then same thing with Barstool, except Barstool never ended up posting it. But we do now have, once you have that link, you're able to send whatever you want. So like now, if we have like a crazy highlight from next year, and we could just Zach and whoever else is running it can just click the link and put it in.
I was on a plane going to Florida, and I had CapCut open, and I was editing something about Schreiber Slam, and the guy I was sitting next to was a wrestling fan. He looks over, he goes, "Are you the school that did that?" I'm like, "No way. Where'd you see it?" He said he saw it. Like, you never know. And in those comments, people go, "That's my school. That's my school." Like, there's so much, you want to call it nationalism for Schreiber that exists. It's out there. And Port Vikings is a way to, bring everybody together, whether they're living in California or they're still here in Port.
Yeah, I had friends in other towns, and they were, after that video got posted, they're like, "Is that your school? Like, that looks so awesome." And it's so cool to think that, like, it started from us filming and JoJo deciding to post that on X. Like, it just goes to show, like, we have something really good happening here at Port Vikings.
It's very rare. When I was in college, I did broadcasting in college, and I traveled with the basketball team to call games, and if 20 people were listening, and it was on terrestrial radio, regular radio, I'd be like, wow. In and out on a blacked out basketball game when we were
had
upstate,
upwards of like 800 people listening just to a radio call during that game. And then people just, even when we were able to use video, we were getting like 300 on a random basketball game on a Tuesday night, or a Wednesday night.
And then when we put up the highlights of the story, like the everything was viral. When we just the post game, Mac did the interview with I think it was Isaiah after the first game, after the semis. Everything we put up would be 10,000, 15,000, 20. Like it was ridiculous that, and that basketball team did something special for the community, but they also did great things for us because people found our channel.
Yeah, I remember looking back at when we were up there looking at the analytics of the story post that I was making, and I think it was in the state championship game against, I think it was Shaker. Yeah, Shaker. And the 4-point play that Kenny had the opportunity to, I remember getting the video. I saw it clank off the and go back in the hoop, and I was looking at that and I said, well, we only have like 6,000 followers around there, and like usually we only get around like 1,000 views per story post. This was upwards of like 7,000 on one highlight, just because our basketball team was doing amazing. And I don't think it was just because Port Vikings getting those story views, because you had the places in town holding the watch party. You had the watch party at the school. You had everyone tuning in on live at their own houses. Like, oh, wait, I want to see what this highlight was. They're going crazy. Oh, Kenny Daly hit a 4-point play. Oh, I could see the video on the story of Port Vikings. And a lot of people were doing that.
And think about, for people watching this right now, like high school kids, you're at a game upstate, you're calling it, we're in real time editing we took the play-by-play. Mac grabbed the play-by-play of one of the plays. I think it was like the buzzer beater.
It was
like
a Chase Cobra buzzer beater.
At the half. Okay, right. And in real time, it's grab the clip, open up your editing software, put in the video of it, put it together, throw it out there, and boom! It's in real time. It's incredible. It's something that I never thought would be achievable at a high school level.
And it's all happening at like the snap of a finger.
Oh yeah.
When I'm watching Knick games, the Knicks media team, they're amazing, but they'll get their highlights up 5 minutes later. Like, I remember I was looking at something, it was like halfway through the third quarter, and I'm clicking through Instagram because like a little like dull time. I think it was a commercial. New post 4 seconds ago. Oh, halftime. Like we get that up instantly. And I don't think anyone does it like Port Vikings. I think we're better. I genuinely think that Port Vikings is better than some, at least college and some pro media teams.
And some of our people have done pro media, including yourself, which counts, and Zach Spring, of course, and others. So, this experience here, doing it at a high school level, if you look at professional stuff, you're not far off. And maybe the editing is going to be crisper. They have different software and people who are professional media people. high school kids using free software to do all this. So it is incredible.
And I think that we're like the skills that we've picked up over the years really showed when we did the Hoop Dragons this year. We did an internship with a semi-pro basketball team, the Hoop Dragons. And when we were running their social media, I was doing the PA. Like, the owners of the team, they were just so amazed at how, like, fluid we were. And, like, halftime, me and Mac knew to get up to do a halftime report. At the end of the game, we knew right away, like, grab a player for the interview. Like, this is just, like, so, like,
It's just
second
natural.
nature to us now.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it for, like, 3 or 4 years straight, like, you really pick something up. And, like, team-building skills and, like, I feel like I've just learned so much.
Yeah, I think that Hoop Dragons internship like took all the people that were participating in it to the next level.
Yeah.
Because they realized, wow, like we're just high school students and now we're working, even though it was semi-pro, we're working for a semi-pro basketball team and we were getting everything done as quick as possible. Like I remember talking to the owner of the team and everyone that was working on the media side, like running the Instagram account 24/7 about how to come up with new video ideas. And I remember doing some of those video ideas for Poor Vikings. I remember media day, we grabbed a couple players, filmed the media day video, like what's your name, this and that, football season filming, what was your favorite football movie, favorite snack, favorite Halloween candy, and all that type of stuff. And especially like Poor Vikings helped us get that internship, showing the quality of our work, showing how dedicated we are to this, and also connections. Like Mr. Lors helped get us
Sure.
that. And then I have bonds that will never be broken, especially with some of the players on the team helping me get other internships. Like this one guy, DJ Falk, he tried out for the arena football team. If it's still happening, he helped me get an internship by putting in the good word, telling me who to reach out to. And yeah, nothing comes to that. Just
That's
'cause
the
we're
way.
Vikings.
That's the way the business works.
Yeah, I think we're done here. I mean, setting it off, the final ever Friday Night Sports Show episode, at least during me, Mason. Cody couldn't be here today.
We were here 1 year ago. It just seems like yesterday. We did the same thing. I had the same angle right here. And we were reflecting on the class when you were juniors. And that's how quick it goes like that. And then Zach will be back here as a senior and we'll be doing this. You'll be in college and all that stuff. So what, my thoughts on everything is you guys did great work. The seniors into SNN. Think about that. Don't gloss over that. You're pioneers for what we did there, and then SNN, we're going to take that hopefully to new heights next year. So it's a very special group. I think your grade came in with one of the biggest grade in Schreiber history, and when you have a large number of kids, you're going to get a large number of special kids in each area, and certainly we were lucky to benefit from all of you. Life will go on. I know you think the whole operation will implode because you leave. You're probably maybe even rooting for a little bit of that we
Yeah,
won't. You don't want us to be.
little bit.
You don't want us to be.
You don't want
better.
anyone.
You
No
don't
one
want
can
us
be
to
better than the class of 2025 of Port Vikings. in
Well,
my
we have some
opinion.
strong juniors who may say otherwise about that, but whether it gets better, worse, or the same, it's still really important the work that you all did here. So we thank you on behalf of WDOT and Port Vikings and me, Mr. Claff, for everything that you guys did.
And we're signing off.